So in order to close every single close and to lead the prospect on a call, we need to understand if we are in a state of high performance. High performance manage their energy across all areas: body, clarity, necessity, inspiration. They check in daily, they meditate, they're aligning their vision, and they maintain their focus and momentum through simple high performance rituals. And before I get into the rituals, it's really important to understand if you're in a rut. And what is really a rut? A rut is anything that is below 85 and 90% of your true performance and your capacity. And you know, like sometimes the dips in performance happen on the micro level, and it's something that you can't really control, like, you know, due to quality, market volume, and things like that. But the dips in the performance are macro if they are something that is you. So it's really important to sort of understand, like, if you're in a call to close ratio and you're dropping below 10%, for example, this is exactly where you're getting into the rut. And say across 30 days, you're reviewing your projections and you're seeing that they're way less than before, you're definitely in the rut. So the problem is that these are the quantitative measures, right? And it might be just too late to get to understand that you're in the rut. And how do we catch those ruts sooner? So qualitative measures, you know, measuring the energy on a daily basis and asking all these questions ourselves, journaling every day, is what actually helps us to understand if we're in a rut or not. So here's, say, the full battery with like performance. Okay, and there are 4 key areas that you can measure every single day in order to understand if you're in a rut or not. So the first one is physiology. Physiology. So physiology is how your body is doing. Obviously, clarity is how clear you're seeing your vision. Necessity and inspiration. These are the 4 key areas to measure yourself every day from 1 to 10 and sort of journal and understand if you are in your key high performance state, right? So like, say if this is a battery and it's, say, like you're lacking from inspiration and sometimes like you're not there fully in the clarity, you say you could be on a 60% somehow, like say if your physiology is fine and you're working out and like necessity is out there, but your inspiration is not fully there and your clarity is also not really there. So like say you're 70% charged, you know the areas where you need to improve your life in order to perform better. So the goal is to really make this battery full and to address all the key areas to fuel our performance. And also it happens through the projection as well. So for this, we need to understand how to manage our energy, right? And we start with the physiology. So why and how do we manage our physiology every day? And for this, obviously, we need, like, it's simple things really, but they were absolute breakthrough when I understood that exercising, drinking plenty of water, sleeping on time, which was the complete biggest breakthrough, meditation, is something that really helped me to maintain my physiology and become a high performer. So say a sedentary, dehydrated, you know, sleep deprived salesperson has absolutely no ability to perform as, you know, up to the true capability of this person, and they're never gonna perform the way they can really do, even if they have, like, say, like the world-class mindset, they still wouldn't be able to achieve that if their physiology is not fully there. So I also learned that number 1 way to produce the energy is the meditation. So once we're done with the physiology, it's the clarity. And Tony Robbins always say, life supports what supports life. And when you are entirely in focus and in view with your clarity and your vision, this is where things are going to start happening and you get the energy for this vision. So how aligned with your vision is how much clarity you actually have. And this is really important because the vision is what provides you the energy. And the vision sometimes, like, there are 2 things that we're dealing with. Sometimes the vision is too big and we can't even understand how we can achieve this vision and how we could get out there. And sometimes the vision is way too smaller. So like if the vision is way too small, then your current situation, you won't get enough motivation to actually, you know, proceed and do something on a daily basis. So Performance high is the state that is driven by clarity and where you are in complete sync, in complete flow with your state, and you're achieving the results and sort of going like through the funnel and the tunnel. That's where, you know, you're driven by the clarity. Then we have necessity. And this is really the reason for you to understand that what you're doing is really important for you and the others. And these reasons is what giving you energy. So for example, there can be a selfish reason like, you know, I want a Ferrari, and every day I wake up thinking about the Ferrari. And sometimes it can be an unselfish reason. So for example, I'm building a school and I'm helping people, or reason out of service for others. This is what matters in the necessity, and these are the drivers of the high performance. So basically the next one is the inspiration. Once you get the inspiration, you get the energy, and this is one of the most important thing and one of the most valuable things that you can give others. This is your energy. So your inputs dictate your outputs, and your inspiration comes from those inputs. So whatever you are consuming is what you are giving outside, and this is your internal philosophy and your energy. The bad news sometimes kind of influence you, and they you know, upset client, puts you in a state in taking information that is bad for you, like constant news and things like that. So those things can put you in a state where it's really difficult to lead the call, and this is really important to always be in a state where good things are coming before you are providing your output out there. So for example, in a call, or in you know, in front of your prospect. And good news, for example, or listening to your past wins on a call, or your personal development stuff and client testimonials, for example, that are, you know, appreciating everything that you've done, biographs, motivational content, this all helps you to perform at your highest stakes. So for example, with me, if I was doing the closer course, I know that after the closer course, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to close the deals, and I'm going to be in my top peak performance, and, you know, I'm going to be in the state where, you know, I'll be closing deals. But if, for example, I'm going to be constantly reading about the real estate or watching news about what's happening in politics, I 100% won't be able to get out there, be in my peak state, and be focused on the process of closing the deal. So how do we actually measure all these things? We are on a daily basis doing the daily check-ins, and obviously like rating each of these you know, areas of our high performance from 1 to 10. Basically, each night we're going to rate ourselves, we're going to journal about each of these key areas in our identity document. So be always honest, because the last thing you want to do is lie to yourself, and you want to ask yourself questions like, am I doing my exercises, am I drinking enough water, am I getting enough sleep? Like sleeping 7.5 hours, over 7.5 hours was a complete breakthrough for me. So like, am I in this pocket, or am I out of pocket? And then if your rating goes anywhere below 8, this is where you want to address one of these key areas, and you want to focus your attention into getting more in these areas. So questions for physiology: am I getting enough sleep? Am I following a diet that is healthy? Am I exercising or moving daily, obviously prior to calls? And am I meditating? Meditation is the biggest breakthrough, and like people who have ADHD and stuff like that, just to keep yourself focused, if you have 5-10 minutes a day to do the meditation guided, or just sitting together with your thoughts, it was one of the biggest breakthroughs for me, and I'm doing it on a daily basis. I also do the breath work. Vision and clarity, the questions like, do I remember my vision? Do I know where I'm going towards? Do I know exactly the goals? Am I writing them down? Is my vision expiring? Is my vision inspiring? Or am I in a gap and I actually don't know what I'm doing and why I'm doing that? And do I have an idea to how actually close that gap? Right, so those are the questions for the vision. And necessity, ask yourself, can I easily think about the motivation behind everything that I'm doing? Why am I doing this on a daily basis? Like, remember, Simon Sinek always start with why. Does this actually provide me any energy? This is really important. Like, why would I go and waste 9, 12, 15 hours a day and do something that's not even giving me anything in return? And be honest. Be honest with yourself. And the last one is the inspiration. Are you doing daily gratitude? Start the day with the daily gratitude. So many scientific research is showing us that daily gratitude changes the biochemical balance in our body, and are providing us with such a beautiful state that helps us to stay motivated and provide us with so much energy. So How many times am I reviewing my weekly performance? When was the last time I listened, looked through the client testimonials? When am I listening to in the morning? Like, are those sales related things? Are those business related things? Or is it an Instagram that I'm scrolling through? Obviously, stuff on personal development and sales in the morning, even 20 minutes, is going to change the way you play the game. Like, is there anything in my environment as well, like family, friends, relationship, that are actually influencing my state negatively? And if they're influencing your state negatively, hence they're also influencing your ability to lead the call, right? So these are very important things, and on a daily basis you need to understand and analyze those things. Like, what's my experience of me? How am I experiencing myself? Am I certain? Am I leading with certainty? Am I coming into the room and I'm leading with my chest, or am I not, right? So are you hitting your projections? Projections is a really important thing. Like, what's the revenue that I'm focused on, like in a month or 2 or 3? You need to know all these numbers to a T. And have you been letting people off the hook, like lack of leadership and things like that, especially on the sales calls? And are you breaking promises to yourself? This is really important. Like, if you're breaking promises to yourself, you're definitely in a rut. So now we know what rut is and how we diagnose them, and everything is inside of the root of it all. So the question is, how do we actually put this in action and put this all together and, you know, stick to the high performance and avoid these ruts? And, you know, we do this through high performance ritual, morning ritual. You wake up in the morning, like 5 a.m. Wake up in the morning. The first thing I do, for example, I read a book, and I always read something that's connected to business and sales. I go through the identity document. I understand if I'm, you know, my physiology, clarity, necessity, inspiration, if all of these parts of my life are providing me energy. I'm going through this document, I exercise, I eat healthy, I'm doing my breath work and meditation, and it's my inspiration, it's my clarity, and I write down the goals. And I always prepare my day from yesterday. So this is your night ritual where you are planning your day for tomorrow, you're reviewing your goals, and in the morning you are set and straight into it. And this is where you're journaling every day. 15 minutes a day of journaling is completely life-changing. So do this identity document, go through each steps of this battery funnel, charge yourself up to the top, and know the fundamentals to include for your high-performance rituals. And doing this all obviously can prevent you from getting into the rut, but we're all humans after all, right? So you can minimize the ruts, but if you're getting into one and you're recognizing that you are there, I mean, it's inevitable. Everyone has ups and downs, and this is how life structure, right? So what do we do if we understand that we're in a rut over and over again? Like, we diagnose the source, we go into the root of the issue, we address the source of the issue, and we return to the baseline. We identify the source, we address the source, then we go into this baseline. We go into the end of the day, we understand exactly which area of our life this is coming from, and, you know, ask yourself what's surrounding you, like what could potentially influence you. You know, are you paying attention on the closer course, for example, or are you doing the, you know, traveling and stuff like that? Like, for example, when I'm traveling, I'm not necessarily in my high performance state, but that's okay. And obviously, once you're done, just implement that and go back to the baseline. And stay unstoppable. Thank you, and have awesome sales calls. Okay, guys, we just done recording the Sales Crush top course, and if you want to learn more about all these things that we just recorded for you, click the link below and get the course, okay? And if you have any questions, just contact me straight away, and we're cooking a lot of cool stuff that is coming out really, really soon. So follow Boost, follow me. I'm Val, and I'm ready to help you close all your sales.